Conversations with them two. Voice of the people, the crew for you. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity, bring the light of minds. We shine, we break on through. Conversations with them too. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity. Your voice matters, your gift shine through. Conversations with them too. Yeah. You are the stage. Shine.
What's good, family? It's your guy, MJ, and welcome to another exciting episode of Conversations with Them Two. This is where we keep it real, relevant, and relatable, and we're going to tackle topics that hit home and make us think just a little bit deeper. What do you say, Lady Des?
That's right, MJ, and I'm your girl, Lady Des. You already know every conversation here has purpose. We laugh, we reflect, and we dig into real life issues that affect us every day.
Well, I don't know about every day. Some of us every second. Tonight, we've got a lineup that's going to be raw and very much needed. So tonight, we're going to be talking about domestic violence from the side people don't often discuss, men. Men who silently endure abuse. And then we're also going to recognize Clergy Appreciation Month, honoring those leaders who put it in daily. And then we'll finish up with what everybody's talking about. I don't know if I want to do it, but we're gonna mention shutdown, and y'all know the rest. And it's a ripple effect that's taking place, and it's affecting families and faith communities all over.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It's a full plate tonight, a full plate of truth, and we're going to be transparent on everything that is going on. So let's jump right in this, MJ.
Absolutely. So we're going to dive right in. When people hear domestic violence, you know, a lot of times they instantly picture women as victims, but then there's also another side, men who are quietly suffering, and society, they really never make space for this conversation.
Absolutely, MJ, because I think it's so taboo. And I just want to say this, that you said something at the station when I brought the topic up. And can you just tell everybody, what did you say? Do you remember?
Absolutely. You know, when it's a situation of domestic violence and the police are called, if it's a man being abused, they don't see that because, one, he has to prove that she don't hit him or that she has been violent toward him, because 99 times out of 99 times, the first thing they do is look at the woman because she is, I don't want to say the weaker one, but she's the softer one. And that's the one that they run to in an attempt to help out when that's not always the case.
Exactly, MJ. And the pain is so real, but the silence is even louder. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say this. And a lot of people don't really know what I do during the day.
Nothing.
I do a lot. So I do work inside of the courtroom. Inside. So the judge that you all see constantly on the news, Judge Mindy Glazier, that's the courtroom that I'm working out of. So 9 times out of 10, if you get arrested in Miami-Dade County, I'm gonna know about it, right? And one thing that really was an eye opener to me, MJ, was the amount of men that came in for domestic violence cases. They were not being the abuser; they were the abused. And the trend that I saw with all of these men were, they do the same thing the women do. They take up for them. Oh, she really didn't mean to do it. Or, I don't want her to get in any trouble. So let's not go that far. I just want her to get help. So, and these are cases after cases with men, right? And a lot of times when something happens like that, it comes to end up the women are lying. Their stories don't be the stories
Absolutely.
don't be correct. And the judicial system is in a lot of times the favor, or the 99% of the time, like you said, in favor of the woman, and the men have to jump through extra hoops.
Just to
Extra
prove he's been beat and
hoops.
abused.
Yeah, that he's been beat and abused. He's been paying child support, and I mean, they have to do the extra because they're men, and it's a sad thing. And I see them making excuses and embarrassment, not only because this happened to them, it's because they're men. And it's like, I know I'm supposed to take up for myself, and I know I shouldn't be allowing this to happen. But you have men that were taught, you don't supposed to hit women. You don't do this. So what do I do when I need to defend myself? So, I think this is just documented, the statistic that shows the lower percentage of men that are abused. And that's because a lot of men are not speaking out. The silence is louder. So I want to ask you this, MJ. Why do you think so many men won't speak up about being mistreated or emotionally abused?
I'm going to say it's two things. I'm going to say one is pride, and I'm going to say it's shame and fear. Shame and fear go together.
Mm,
And we're usually taught that we have to be the protector and never the victim.
right.
So some of us brothers think that nobody will ever believe them, or you tell your homeboy your girl beating on you, they're gonna laugh at you.
Right.
But I was growing up, my mom always said, if you big enough to give a lick, you big enough to take a lick.
Mm.
But yeah, that's neither here nor there.
I just say when it's time to defend yourself, then you need to do what you have to do to defend yourself. Because honestly, just as women are getting abused, a lot of times these men are on that same level. I've seen it where men are stabbed, almost stabbed to death, and
Right.
they still refuse to tell. I don't want to take my children away from their mother. I don't want to be looked at as a bad father. Convenience, in today's society, it's hard to stay by yourself. I can't imagine paying, two two or $3,000 a month for a one bedroom.
Well, I'd rather pay that for a one bedroom than be beat on.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't look at it that way. They look at it for the convenience standpoint. We'll just make it through this time. But it's just a lot going on. And that's just the way it is. I used to hear about it a lot, MJ, and sometimes see certain stories on the news, but it didn't really hit home till I was in that courtroom and hearing all of these different stories.
I thought you was gonna say it didn't really hit home till you got beat, but that's
No, thank God. Thank God I have never been through that type of abuse, or I wouldn't even call it abuse at all, that I've gone through, but I've helped people. I don't like people getting bullied on, and we go, I told you, we go and knock on doors. That's what we do. But we try to help as much as we can
Mhm.
to different ones, and we know of individuals that have been abused and been in a certain situation. I remember a young lady was telling me how her boyfriend was beating her up, and he took a screwdriver and stuck it up her nostrils. I mean, it's gruesome things that are going on when people are in these situations, and it's just it's sad. It's sad.
It really is. It's sad, but the thing about abuse is that it does not discriminate, as you know. And for the victim, at some point you got to get tired of being tired, of being
Yeah,
tired of being beat,
right.
in order for you to reach out to somebody, whether it be a confidant, whether it be the police, you have to find someone that you can talk to in order to get yourself out of those situations.
Absolutely, MJ. And I think so many men hold it in. They hold it in so long and they don't know what way to turn, because a lot of times when they come to court, they're in tears. And it gets to the point when they're starting to tell their testimony. Um, the tears just flow. It just wells up in their eyes. It's like they can't believe, number one, this is happening to me. And you said it. I think it just hurts their pride, for one. And now
Absolutely.
it's like I'm coming public with this, although it's in a private setting. This is still public, that I'm speaking out and saying this is happening. However, I'm trying to cover it all at the same time. It's just sad. And I think, what do you think some of the warning signs? I don't know if you've been through it or have known someone to. I'm just asking,
Oh, okay. Because you about to say, somebody been beating on who, me?
because
Oh,
there are so many people. There are so many people who we think strong are strong, and they suffer in silence, and they deal with certain things. Like we were hearing the story tonight, of a young lady, a well-known young lady, that she was going through it for 8 years. So we just don't know the capacity of where people are. And so, the statement of check on your strong friends, that's real.
I think the warning signs that might are the same for both men and women. If your friend is outgoing and all of a sudden get into a relationship and suddenly wants to be set apart and not hang out with you, become distant, there might be something going on, so you may want to just have that conversation and make sure that your friend is okay. Now, I honestly, I'm not a I can't I haven't been in that situation, so I can't really tell you what all the warning signs are. I just know that I've heard stories, and the stories are all the same, whether it's a man or a woman. It's somebody who is in a relationship with somebody that seems to be or mean the world to them in the beginning, and then that person slowly starts to demean, berate, and break them down just to build them back up to make them what they want
One,
and need them to be in order to control them. That I do know.
right. And a lot of times they are intimidated by what you have and what you possess.
Jealousy, yeah, it could be
Yeah,
jealousy.
especially if you are a strong, outgoing person, and this other individual are insecure about themselves. That's where the breakdown comes at. Let's break you all the way down so I can control you and make myself feel like I'm somebody.
Or the person could just be flat out mean. Point
Absolutely.
blank period. Let's just put it out
Yeah,
there. Some people are just mean.
you're right. And let me ask you this, MJ. How do you feel that the church or the community create a safe space for men to talk without judgment?
I don't think that there's a safe place in the church for men to expose, and I'm just being honest. I think a man would benefit better by becoming a part of one of the judicial systems. I know they do have a battered men uh, group. And I do know that it would probably be best to reach out, to a therapist, someone that you can relate to on a one-on-one basis, just to let those feelings out and to explain what it is that you're going through. I don't think that the church deals with men being abused. I know they help women, but once again, when you start talking about it happening to men, then the spectrum becomes really, really small.
Right, right. And I think the interest becomes really, really small.
Yeah, because it's taboo,
It's
it's one
like
of those things.
can't
It's
be happening. This
right.
is not true. Eddie is on. That's my honey, y'all. He said, no, believe them also that the court is not in their favor.
Oh, definitely not. The court is not in a man's favor when it comes to being abused, when it comes to child
But just to see if they're telling the truth. Like we said earlier, they have to jump through so many hoops. The lawyer literally have to prove their point.
and then
And
wait, but then not even that, Des. I know of a personal situation where this young man was dealing with being abused by this young lady, and she was going at him for child support, and he's telling the people this is what's happening, and he's still trying to prove his case to this day.
I believe it. I totally believe it. And like I was going to say, when the lawyers get down to the bottom of it, when the truth comes out, a lot of times these young ladies are lying. It's because either the dude don't want to be with them no more. Just because he doesn't want to be with you no more, don't neglect him the chance to take care and raise his child. Y'all don't have to be together to raise the child. And a lot of times they do get forceful and they do stab, they beat, they pull guns. I
They
mean,
show up at your job,
they show up at
they
your
stalk
job,
you.
they in the bushes, all of this kind of stuff, just because I don't want to be with you. And it's the same thing like the men. And these men be in fear for their lives. A lot of times they just don't speak out. So
Exactly.
the percentage that we're talking about of men is only those that are documented. It's not
Yeah.
even those that we don't know about, but they constantly live through this every day. Do you know how many men come home and are emotionally scarred because their significant other or their spouse is there degrading them, like you said?
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. So how do we as men shift the narrative that seeking help is seen as a strength and not as a weakness? Because that's why a lot of men don't come forth, because me exposing this is not a strength. It's you're seeing my weak side. I'm appearing to be weak to you. How do we handle that?
I think you have to just go seek therapy, and then you have to decide when I'm sick and tired. And you have to come to grips with the truth. You have to see yourself. And I think once that begins to happen, it'll cause you to want to speak out, because it will definitely be a healing mechanism. And then you'll find out how many other men are going through the same thing. I think the issue is you're going to have to create your own safe space, seriously, and be okay with that, regardless of what comes, right? And you're going to have to remove yourself from that situation.
Right.
And remove yourself from that situation, you just have to make your own safe space and be okay, like I said, with that, and begin to speak out when you're ready. Because I guarantee you, as many more men start standing up and saying, yes, this happened to me, I think it will cause a lot more healing. I don't know if you remember, this was years ago. Oprah did a segment of how many men were abused.
Girl, I wasn't watching Oprah.
But listen, you're so silly. But I remember it so vividly. And she had a stage full of guys that were ready to take that stand and say, this happened to me. A lot of them were on the football team. A lot of them were on the basketball team. A lot of them were abused by other men who we should say we should look up to, right? And I think those things cause trends of anger and bitterness that cause abuse on other people. So I guess the saying of a lot of times, hurt people do hurt people.
You know what? This is the thing. I'm telling any brother listening, it's okay to reach out. I know a
It
good therapist for you. Reach out. Silence keeps you stuck, and speaking up is going to somewhat make you feel free. It's a process. It ain't going to happen overnight. It won't happen overnight. People have been trying to get out of bad relationships for years. And when you look back at, and I think this is the problem where we look at where the millennials are today versus where grandma and grandpa was, where they stayed together through everything.
everything, right?
These days, people are not taking that. I need my mental. I need to be free of all of this before I lose my mind. So the things of today don't necessarily work for the things of yesterday don't necessarily work for today. You just have to know who you are. Get therapy, seek help, talk to somebody.
And right. And that whole concept of whatever goes on your house stays in your house. No. Especially and this is on the terms of if you're getting beat, if you're getting stabbed, if you listen, all of this stuff truly goes on. And we're just talking about the men tonight because I just think and not downplaying the women, but they get a lot of the attention when it comes to domestic violence, right? But I'm telling you, there are so many men that are sitting there that are hurting, that are broken, that are emasculated, that feel like they're nothing because they're disrespected, they're being abused, they're being shot at. And these are not men that are out doing, these are men that are actually in their home trying to take care of their family, take care of their home. They've been raised a certain type of way, or they have a certain type of belief that they
Right.
don't want to just lash out and then they get in trouble because they know already that they don't have a backing with the system. It's
That
gonna be
is
it's
true.
gonna be me, not you going down there. I got to literally prove I have scratches that you did me some type of harm. So it's so much more difficult. And I was laughing because listen, y'all, MJ believe in going to the therapist. One thing he gonna do, he gonna go.
I'm gonna
So
call Matt. That's right. I'm gonna call Matt.
he's not telling you nothing that he doesn't do himself. So if you want that freedom, you got to make up your mind when it's time to relinquish those ties, when I am ready to go, when it's time for me to leave. And then when you do that, seek help. Seek help. Pray and ask God for direction. And then you have to create that safe space for yourself and be okay with that. If
Right.
nobody gives you a table, you make that table for yourself in the process of seeking the help that you need, in the process of praying to God for direction
And
or
I
where
like
you to go.
I like what your husband said too. Men, the only way to prove it today is do like everybody else. Pull out your phone, record it for the courts, record it for the family, so that they'll be able to actually see what
Keep
is going
receipts.
on.
Absolutely.
Let's move
Absolutely.
on.
Keep receipts. Oh, yeah. Listen, it's good. So listen, and we already said it, as far as resources and mentorship, just seek help in those directions of people that offer. Call the domestic violence shelter. Men, please call the domestic violence shelters. That is definitely a space that they hear and they're equipped to take care of those who are abused without judgment.
And
Without
if,
judgment.
and if you don't want to do that, call my therapist, Matt Genius. Call him.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Mac Genius is definitely a male therapist who is awesome. Awesome. He's also awesome and equipped to assist you and navigate you through this process. Um, if you're feeling weak, if you're feeling like you're not able to go on or live any longer, contact him. Yeah, contact him. So go ahead, MJ.
No, no, I was gonna say you need his number, just email me.
What's your email?
They can email us at convo with them two at gmail.com. That's drop it there. We'll
Yeah,
get
and
we'll
that's
get you connected.
anybody. And this is directed to the males. Because right here, conversations with them too. Like we do real talk. We do real talk. And tonight we really wanted to deal with the men that's dealing with domestic violence because I know you're out there. I know you're out there. There's so many testimonies and men who show up in court for these cases. You just don't hear about it. So we want to direct you in the right place. So you can email us at convo with them two at gmail.com. And we can direct you into those hands that can give you help or at least give you direction on what you should do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about October being Clergy Appreciation Month.
Yes, yes. Listen, it's so many clergies that are in our community. And you know what? Pastors and clergy, men and women, they get a negative, especially in today's time. They get such a bad rap, but we do have
I ain't
honorable.
no, I ain't gonna say that because some clergy deserve a bad rap.
Yeah, a lot of them cause it on themselves. Yeah,
Like the old cussing past. Okay, never mind. Let's keep going.
you get me all choked up. But the majority of them are good. MJ,
Yeah, they are.
majority of them are good. And again, it's always what the media allows to speak louder, right? What they expose the most is everything negative.
Right.
Everything negative about the clergy, everything negative about the church. Now, is it sometimes that we cause it on ourselves? Yes. But there are really pastors out there that have a heart for the people, that care about who care about people, and they care about their relationship with God. And don't get me wrong, there are things that come up in life. There are so many things, and even the human side, you know, the human side of clergymen everywhere. It can get the best of us sometimes, and we make mistakes and we err. But we can't stay there. We have to have a heart of repentance, a heart of conviction. And once you lose that conviction, that's a terrible place to be in. So we want to salute and honor and recognize all of the pastors and the clergy men and women out there that have paved the way, that are paving the way, that are really making a difference and an impact in our community. And I just want to give honor to my pastor.
You see,
And
don't do that. Don't start calling names because then somebody gonna say, well, you ain't call my name. Okay, you get in trouble.
I'm going to call my pastor, Pastor Keith Moore, Lady Chanel Moore, and I'm gonna give a shout out to all of the ministerial staff at Bread of Life Community Church, because they are doing a phenomenal job. You know, listen, it takes a lot to lead a group of people. You know, it takes a lot to get up there every Sunday, in and out, speaking, preaching, teaching. It takes a lot out of you, and then you still have to deal with your personal life, your family life, and all the rest. So I know I have a good set of pastors, and I'm on an excellent ministerial team. Like I said, I know we're not all perfect. None of us are. However, they stay in the paint. They do what they got to do. And we see growth. We see growth. We see life there.
I want to applaud your pastors as well for putting up with that singing that you do some Sundays. Hallelujah. Amen. Amen.
You know
Yes.
what? I ain't studying you. They
Yeah.
love
The more, yeah, they love you. They love you. But the Moors listen to that voice. Hallelujah.
what?
Whew, okay.
I ain't studying you, MJ. You don't want to give a shout out? Oh my God.
No, because I'm not giving a shout out because we know too many pastors, and I don't want to forget nobody. So when you said all clergy, I'm leaving it at that. All clergy, mine, yours, everybody, all
No,
the ministers.
I believe a lot of the clergy need recognition. That's the problem.
And I just recognized them,
No,
all of y'all.
listen, Pastor Tanya, that's MJ's sister, y'all. Pastor Tanya, Pastor Henry Brown. It's a lot of
names because you're gonna forget somebody.
Listen,
See, you're already doing this.
All clergy,
Repeat after me.
yes.
All clergy, yes, all clergy, and then we can move on because you're gonna forget somebody, and they gonna be somebody close to you, and you're gonna be getting texts in the middle of the night. You ain't call mine.
Listen, Pastor Gaston Smith.
See, there you go.
Listen, as long as I shouted out my pastor, yes, Pastor Virginia Mister. That's the church I grew up
Here
in.
we go. Here we go.
But look, wait. Let me just say this though. Could I say this? Because there's so many
You
people.
gonna say it anyway?
I am. Because I think people need the recognition. Like I grew up in a time where people, Pastor Dashe, Apostle, that's what I was going to say. Apostle Dashe and Prophetess Tequila Johnson, who've been keeping virtual church on lock. They do a lot of stuff virtually, and they be on lock. But what I was going to say, I'm grateful because I grew up at a time where women pastors wasn't acceptable, and they got a lot of flack for leading the church or whatever. However, I'm truly grateful for my pastor. They're going on to be with the Lord, but Pastor Janie Davis and Pastor Jessie Mae Brown. Listen,
Are you done?
No, I'm not yet. You're gonna live through my recognitions, and just watching those women of faith, it groomed me to who I am today. Like I said, I am not perfect. Made many mistakes, making mistakes, and all of that. However, I thank God for my traditional structure and my foundation. So shout out to them as well.
Okay, so we're going to say it once again. Shout out to all the leaders out there. Just know that you are appreciated for your faithfulness, for your endurance, and for your heart. That way we're not leaving anybody out. Trying to get me in trouble, Jesus.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but I just know that there had to be, come on, Pastor Avery Jones.
See, you ain't called him the first time. Why wasn't he in the first set, not the second set?
But I called him. I mean, it's no, MJ, for real though. There are pastors
too
out
many
there
to name. Then you're gonna have to say Pastor Kenneth Duke, and then you're gonna have to say this son Keon Duke, and then you gotta say the Richardsons in South Miami, and then you gotta say Jackson of Antioch. So no, you can't do that because you got so many.
I'm just talking about pastors, and we're talking about pastors that have been very close to us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really close like that with a lot. But
I can't
definitely
tell.
these are the ones these are the ones that I know of, that calls, that check on. Like they have large side churches, and it's like, y'all thought about me, y'all thought about my husband. You know what? Pastor Vernon Gillum. People don't know. Listen, there's so many. The Woodsides, Pastor Woodside, Overseer Woods. It's just so many of them.
See, there's so many, and you're gonna try to call all their names.
Y'all covering them and don't even know. Listen at MJ, LL. Listen, it's just so many. Eddie say, all clergy, move on.
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Okay, so listen, the Mr. has spoken.
See,
Go ahead.
Family and friends, this is how I get stuff done. I have to reach out to the husband in order for him to help me help her move on.
See, I just forgot one. Pastor Christine Long, the community pastor.
Did your husband not say move on? Don't you call no more names.
Ricky Hawkins, this is not for me. Y'all, these are pastors that people are in the chat are shouting out now. I'm telling you, it's a whole lot of clergy that have really, truly made an impact in people's lives, man.
So when you say all clergy, that covers everybody. That covers the multitude.
Pastor Christine Long, right there on 50, what's that, 54th? Right there on 54th and like 23rd, that helped the whole community. Ricky Hawkins and Pastor Valerie Hawkins. Man,
there goes your 30 minutes right there. Just gone.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
I don't even know where to go now.
Look, okay. We can shut it down.
Well, before we shut it down, we gotta say to music fans everywhere, both Christian and contemporary or secular, the music world suffered a loss this week with the losing of D'Angelo. Michael D'Angelo Archer, um, who was also very instrumental in the neo soul movement. People don't know he was also instrumental in. He was a true Christian at heart as well, who did his thing when it came down to choir music. This was before the Brown Sugar video and all that other stuff.
Hold on, MJ. Not only choir, don't leave out quartet, because baby, he was quartet to the heart. Thank you. I just wanted to add that in.
Yeah. Okay.
Quartet
So
first, then choir.
yeah. Okay.
He even was in a quartet group. He had a quartet group.
Yeah. I forgot about them.
All right. But
But yeah.
I am here to remind you.
Yeah. You'll never let me forget.
Never. Go ahead. Go ahead with your.
I'm done.
No, go.
No,
It
I'm
looked
done.
like you were ready to say something.
No, we'll just keep the family and friends and all the fans in prayer, and God bless
But seriously,
D'Angelo, and may he rest in peace, and all that good stuff.
yeah. But he has definitely made an impact on so many people. And I was sharing with one of my friends today that all of the tributes that I've seen go up, they were immaculate. I think this was like the best tribute for D'Angelo that I've seen for anyone in such a long time. I don't think I've seen one bad rendition of Brown Sugar or any of his songs.
I'm shocked you even know a brown sugar and not the kind that you put in cake. Hallelujah.
Yeah, I know who D'Angelo is. I listen a little bit. I got children with Eddie Hall.
Amen. Yes, you do.
He like brown sugar.
You know what? I'm moving on. We are not doing this with the Halls tonight. No, ma'am.
EJ say he got another pastor. Who is it, EJ? See? Who is the other pastor? Let's see. See, y'all try to stop the flow, try to take the shine from the pastors and the clergy.
No, we did not. We just wanted to.
It's people out there going in the paint. You know what? They get up early in the morning praying for people. They leave their families a lot of time to go out and see what's going on in people's lives. They show up in court for members.
This man said Pastor Ricky Dillard.
EJ, listen, okay, we shout out Pastor Ricky Dillard. This man do not put on Pastor Ricky. Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. But shout out to Pastor Ricky Dillard. Pastor Izola Williams, my dad. MJ, you better say something nice about my daddy.
Your daddy nice.
Yeah. That's right. Let me say this. Let me say this about my parents. My parents are about people, and that's how they raised. That's how they raised us. They are about people. And you say I'm too nice to people, blame them. Blame them.
No. Because this is the story of me and your daddy.
Tell it.
Hey, UMJ, yes, sir. Well, I'm having a birthday celebration at church. You gonna be there. Not are you coming, but you gonna be there. Yes, sir. You gonna be there. So yeah.
Now, one thing he know how to pull the people together, and he always been like that. You know, my father was people don't know this either, but he was a big promoter back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he knows how to congregate people, and they come. They sure come. When he called,
he promoted for the Clouds.
No, he did.
Bet they was quartet, wasn't they?
They were all quartet. Listen, I'm in quartet because of my parents. All right. My parents love singing. That's all we in the house. We grew up listening to quartet.
Yeah, I know. You didn't know much else.
We grew up on Willie Nell Johnson and the Gospel Keynotes. We grew up on Lee Williams. We grew up on these guys.
Yes, Taylor, Highway QCs and the Alabama Blind Boy. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware.
George Dean and the Gospel Four. We used to watch videos growing up.
Shawana Williams, stop it.
She had another pastor. Who is it?
Stop it.
Wait, let me tell you about my parents, though, MJ. Let me tell you why we're the way that we are. One thing I learned: always keep your phone on. Always keep your phone on, and no matter what time of night.
That was a fail.
What time of no matter what type of time of night, anybody called my parents' home, we had to answer the phone and we had to give them the phone because they were servants at heart for the people. And if somebody needed to go to the hospital, because they said when someone calls that late at night, there's a problem. Somebody is in need. Somebody needs something. So we were trained like that. Now,
well, you failed.
My phone, I answer my phone all the time when it rings. When it rings, at least I try to. And no matter what time of night you call, no matter what time of night you call. So for real. And I called my mom's house the house of refuge. Now, one thing they didn't allow people to come over and stay with us. But they would feed you. They would try to put you up somewhere, but you just couldn't live in the house. And I respect that. So that's how I am right now. So look, they still putting in pastors. They're still Pastor Joe Green, absolutely. Pastor Rufus Williams, Pastor Joel Pratt, who went on to be with the Lord. Bishop Williams went on. Listen, y'all, it's just so many. There's so many different clergy, men and women that have touched many lives. And my parents, we grew up in ministry. You know, they probably wasn't always preachers, but servanthood and caring about the people.
That's one thing they did leave with you that rubbed off: serving and caring about people. Now that you do.
Absolutely. And look, what about Bishop Victor T. Curry? Now, MJ, you know, when we're out and about, we have heard so many different testimonies about things Bishop has taught, Bishop has done for this community. He is definitely a powerful voice. He's a pillar.
We covered him when we said all clergy. You, however, can't seem to move on, and you think you're going to keep me here all night because the people want to shout out every pastor they know. I ain't going to do it.
This is in the chat. Okay. All right.
You know what, Eddie Hall? You get an F. You get an F.
Oh my gosh, not the name.
You get an F, Eddie Hall.
Eddie, Bishop be speaking now. When he get to standing up, y'all haven't seen MJ in his raw form. And when he's really passionate about something.
Family, go get the book You Are the Stage. I'm not doing this with these people tonight.
Yep, shout out to Bishop Sattler. But listen, we thank all clergy, men and women. We thank you all for all that you have done for the community, how you're impacting lives, how you pray and cover your people, and just cover anybody that is in need. I just don't want, number one, men to be put in the same bucket with all the other men, and the same with our clergy, because they listen. They're clergy that really has a heart for God and has a heart for the people and has a heart for God's people, just people in general. And we should not lose that. We should not lose that. No matter what we go through in our normal lives, in our human state, we still got to remember who God created us to be. And I don't think it's fair that the good pastors that really truly has the heart of God and the heart for people should be put in the same bucket with everybody else. Like all men are not bad, all men are not dogs. You really truly have men that want to be men, that want to raise their children, that want to be a husband, that want to prepare themselves to be a husband. You have these men that are out there that's in the grind, but they feel like nothing because either they're not being treated properly, they're abused by women who are hurt, and the like, all of that. So I just don't feel like it's fair for all of them to be put in the same bucket.
Amen, evangelist.
Right, close it out. Look, Bishop Claude, St. Gerard, Bishop Thompson.
Family and friends.
The mic is your pulpit. Your life, not only the mic, MJ, your life is your pulpit. You can say it all day, but people watch your walk.
They
listen to your talk. They see how you move. So, let's be mindful of that.
I always am.
I try to.
Always am. Family, thank y'all for tuning in to Conversations with Them Two. Listen, we do this each and every Monday night. Please go get the book, You Are the Stage.
Yes.
You can get it off of Amazon, or you can email convo with them two, and we will get you an autographed copy of the book. Just know that what you see us do here, we do from the heart. And we love what it is that we do.
We do.
And we do it sometimes she does it with a slight attitude sometimes, but it's all with love.
Wait, you see Eddie's comment?
I see Eddie comment. I'm trying to move on.
Just know how to know when to turn it off. We turning it off.
I'm turning it off. That's it. We're wrapping it up now. So thank you to Thaddeus for the theme music. We appreciate you. Family, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook. Check us out individually on Instagram. Get the book, You Are the Stage. And as Eddie Hall just said, it's time for us to get off the stage. So, Lady Des, until next week, same time, same place. Much love. I appreciate you. Next Monday, 8:30 in the PM.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Peace out.